Hey everyone, my name is Jacob Kleinhens. In today's reflection video, we're going to be going through the first reading from the Acts of the Apostles, chapter 4, verses 32 through 37. In the first sentence there it says, "The community of believers was one of heart and mind, and no one claimed that any of his possessions was his own." Big concept that really pops off the paper there for me is the word community. You know, the concept of community, living in communion with brothers and sisters in Christ and your friends. And really, I think that community, that original church, that first church, that original community of believers, they all loved Jesus. You know, they had that in common, and they knew that they wanted to live around other people that also loved Jesus. And so they knew that their faith wasn't supposed to be private. It was personal, but they knew that it wasn't supposed to be private. And they were running the race that was set before them as to win. You know, they wanted to win, and they did win. They passed on that torch of the faith on to the next generation. And just as in our faith in general, you know, our faith is either everything or it's nothing. You know, our faith is either everything or nothing. The only thing that it can't be is in between. C.S. Lewis said that, and every day, you know, that early church, that early community of believers, and even today, you know, every day, just to wake up each morning with a stronger sense, a stronger hunger, you know, to live on mission, to grow in community, to become who you're meant to be, to strive for that greatness. Because you look at, especially in our world today, especially in young adults, every young adult is either busy, sick, or tired. You know, every single young adult is either busy, sick, or tired. And the world kind of as a whole is always like that too. Like the world around us is dying. And we can either give a crap about that or not. You know, we can either do something about that or just kind of become complacent and not really care enough to do something about that. And the early church, that early community of believers, you know, they saw a need and they filled that. You know, not only was that an idea, but they acted on that idea, they acted on that need, and they fulfilled that in giving their. So basically what they did is they had a lot of like their excess stuff that they had, such as maybe like the money in your bank account or the extra stuff that you have in life. You know, they gave that to the apostles, and they allowed the apostles to just distribute that to those in their community that had less than them, that may have needed more. You know, and you know, they were able to really live that out and to give of themselves out of love. You know, suffering and sacrificing of yourself for someone else, that's love. And really what the early in that first reading kind of, I guess what would you say, the ABCs of community, or the ABCs of mission. I have 3 of those, and A being authentic, the first one being authentic. And in order to, you know, really to go to your brother or to go to your sister and to look them in the eye, and for them to come to you and for them to look you in the eye and to say, speak truth to my heart. You know, the world is loud. The world does not promote people being real with each other. The world does not promote people growing together in their faith. One of the tactics of the devil, of the enemy, is to keep everyone separated, to keep everyone isolated in their own little corner, and make them believe that I can do my faith, I can do my whole entire lifestyle kind of like by myself. You know, I don't need friends that are going to push me and help me grow in my faith. And that's something that the apostles had. You know, that in the early church, they had that, and that's what we need to really strive for, that authenticity. You know, strive to be real with each other, strive to go to each other, which brings me to B. You know, A being authentic, B being bold. If you walk in boldness, you're not going to care what other people think of you. Okay, if you're walking in boldness, if you're going to your friend, if you're going to someone and saying like, hey, like, I'm struggling with this, like, I want you to give me your input, like, how can I overcome this temptation that the devil is putting in my life, or that I just need to overcome, you know. But to walk in boldness and to really not worry about what other people think of you. You know, I was told about, like, one time, and I encourage you guys to believe this as well, like, people are going to hate you for who you are and who you're becoming, but you have to be okay with that. You know, people are going to want to keep you in a box, keep you how they like you, but you know, you were made for greatness. You were made for more, and to be authentic, to be bold, and see being committed. You know, commitment, that's so vital when it comes to living in community, when it comes to building and growing and just living with brothers and sisters, chasing, running after the Lord. You know, are you committed to your prayer life more than you're committed to your job, or more than you're committed to your boyfriend or girlfriend? Like, you want to know someone's you want to know what someone worships. Like, look up their Google searches. Like, see who they're following on Instagram. Like, look what they watch on YouTube. Like, where are they investing their time? Because community takes investment, it takes self-sacrifice, it takes giving of yourself for the better good of someone else, and for them to do the same for you, because our faith is not supposed to be private. It's not supposed to be something that we just kind of keep in our corner. You know, it's supposed to be personal, yes, but it's supposed to be communal. You know, we need it's a lot easier to do it with someone else than all by yourself. And really, a vision story that I have here from a great man that I know, Brad Piron. He was saying how he had this vision story of Peter. He was in this room, okay, and Peter was in this room, and he was trying to, he's running around like trying to set up for mass. You know, preparing the table, the altar, getting the candles on the altar, and really, just getting everything ready to go for mass. And it's brought to a scene out on the street, and there's this guy. He's got his hood up, and this guy's like walking along, like really limping, like staggering along, like barely keeping up with it. And he comes to the stairs, this building. This guy, like, he walks up the stairs and opens the door to go into this building, and Peter's inside. And Peter sees this guy come through the door from the darkness into the light, and he sees that this is his brother, his friend Paul. And Paul comes through the door, and Peter's like, oh my gosh, it's like it's my friend, you know, Paul. And Peter sprints over to Paul at the door. Peter loses his sandals, you know. He gets to Paul, and Paul like just walks through the door, and Paul like falls. You know, he's about ready to, like, he's going to the ground, and Peter catches him, and he embraces him right before he hits the ground. And Paul looks Peter in the eyes, and he says, dude, like, it's hard out there. You know, they're mocking me, they're whipping me, they're beating me. Everyone wants my life, but I came to you just for you to remind me who I am, who I'm meant to be, what my mission is, and more importantly, for you to remind me who he was. You know, what did Jesus sound like? You know, what was Jesus' mission for me again? You know, what does it look like to worship Jesus when everyone's like after you? You know, it's like just dead. He's just really tired, barely staying alive, and I think that really relates to us now. It's not easy, you know, to be vocal, to be visibly into your faith, and to let others see that. But when you have that community, when you have someone to go to, when you have a Peter to go to, you know, to look Peter in the eye and say, speak truth to my heart. The world is loud. The world does not promote me growing in my faith, and helping others grow in their faith too. But I want you to speak truth to my heart, and I want you to be real and authentic and committed to me. And so, as we go through this together, as we are in this quarantine, as we come out of this quarantine, to really look around at who you're hanging out with, who's your friends. You know, do you need new friends? Do you need stronger community? Pray if you don't have that. You know, pray to God for better friends, better community, better men, better women that are gonna, brothers and sisters that are gonna push you in the faith, you know, and to get you to where you need to go, and that being heaven, to help you reach your goal and to become as great as you possibly can, as you're called to become. Know that I'm praying for you guys, and I hope you have an awesome day.